Hey guys, we're at this job and Alicia got ahead of me before I could video, but she's got everything prepped. It's basically a wall that had, before it had new windows, I guess some moisture got in there, and then it has some nail pops over here. And so she's going to scrape the wall, and she's going to float it and fix things such as that, and the nail pops over here, and then give it a real light texture. It has almost zero texture to it, probably just what the roller is, but we'll give it a little extra. And then Vinny, they got way ahead of me, but Vinny's been over here removing all this broken tile. This whole thing was falling apart, pieces of tile dropping, so Vinny went ahead and got into that and cleaned that edge up. And what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and use, you say hi, Vinny. He got his haircut. Anyway, we're going to put a flat black, a matte black border right across here like this. So rather than bore you with a bunch of steady footage here of us kind of doing the same old thing, we're just going to fix this little wood here, and then I'll get segments of it on video for you. Alright guys, she's after it. Look at her go. She's going to just make sure that all the flakiness is completely off, and then she'll start to skim coat it, but she'll go back after some of this stuff. If it's stuck down good, then we leave it and then we skim over it. But knowing her, she'll be after this for another 20 minutes, just this one spot, but it'll be perfect. Adhesive can be a good thing, the excess, or it can be a bad thing. Sometimes you can use it in your favor. For instance, it makes a perfect spacer. If you put your tile up on there and this is solid like this is, and it puts you right where you need to be, you just fill in the voids with your new adhesive and it'll become an automatic spacer and keep you straight. If it's putting you out there, then you got to get rid of it, and then you'll have to space it out by hand using your adhesive. Also, if you remember, I did a video not too long ago where we put in this brand new sink, and I had mentioned that we would come back here at a later time to fix that. So if you really want to see how it looks, you can go back to the one video that I did where we replaced the sink and the faucet, and you'll be able to see how it first looked before we started knocking off the rest of the tiles. Okay, we got the tile, and this is what I was talking about. You can use that adhesive to kick you out where you need to be, because this has a roll on it. And if not, if we take it all off, then we're going to be sinking it a lot deeper, and then we'll have to space it out with some adhesive and float it. But this is putting us right where we need to be. So we're just going to take this piece and go all the way around and see if there's any high spots. If they are, we'll deal with them, like maybe right here. See, there's a little high spot right on here. It's this piece here, and it's not even a high spot from adhesive. You can see there's a screw, and they didn't sink that screw good enough. So we're going to fix that screw. All right, we're going to get after it, guys. Okay, guys, what we're doing is we're putting paint sticks underneath with just some screws, tacking them up. As you can see, they're just paint sticks. That way we build a ledger, and we'll set our tile on there, and it'll be a nice straight tile row. There won't be any guesswork on if it's crooked or not. And then up on top where we have a little space, we'll grout it in with charcoal. Okay guys, he's almost got those paint sticks all the way around. And we're going to use Loctite. We're not going to use tile adhesive. The reason why is tile adhesive gets a little bit brittle over time, and Loctite will stay flexible, but you'd have to pull the whole sink apart in order to get the Loctite to fall off. So we're going to use Loctite, and that way if this thing flexes at all or moves, it won't come off. Okay guys, this is what we're going to use on the tile, because it'll hold it, it's strong, it's flexible. It's better if we were doing a large area, then we'd use the pre-mixed acrylic tile adhesive, but because we're just doing a trim, this stuff here is the best. It's strong, it won't come off. It'll keep everything sound. It'll firm up that wood that's loose underneath there, make everything solid and like one piece. All right, guys, Alicia's over here mixing that mud up. She's using 5 minutes smooth set, and then we'll go from there. Okay, guys, she's gonna get after it with that mud just in the problem areas, and then she'll use an oversized trowel, well, like she's doing there, and she'll work on that, and then she'll get after that. We'll come and check on it a little bit later. Alright, guys, he's going around hitting all the high spots with his blade. That way, because he's using this to go around, and anything too high, he's, you know, going after, see what he can do there. Okay, guys, she's making some progress. All that's skim coated, and she had to stop about right over there. So now she's going to go mix another batch. And it's important, guys, when you're cleaning out your tray and your skim coating, you got to clean that tray out really good. Don't leave none of the crumbs in the corners, because that breaks loose and gets in your skim coat. Next thing you know, you're dragging debris, dragging lines into your skim coat, and that makes you have to work double, because then you got to find it, scrape it out, re-skim it. So when you clean your pan out, clean that thing out really good. Okay, Vinny's prepping this here, and you know, I was telling Vinny, you know, 85% of the work when you're doing a repair like this is the prep work. The tile is going to go on easy. Once the prep is done, everything's lined up, you know, you can put those tiles on real fast. But the work is prepping it, getting all the high spots off, and he's just going around doing little by little until it's all done. And the two pieces we're going to put first is the two end pieces, this corner. We're going to put that, and then that way our two cuts will be in the corners where you don't even see them. That way we strategically put our cuts in the two corners. Okay, guys, you can see how clean she gets this. She gets that tray spotless. She uses a beater spatula to go in the creases. That way she doesn't drag all that shit through the skim coat. Alright, guys, she's getting that all spread out over there. And I'm not saying this is the way you patch and drywall. We're not drywallers by far. But whatever she's doing happens to work for her. So, you know, everybody develops their own techniques, you know, but she's using 5 minutes smooth set. She's using a couple different putty knives. And she cleans her tray out really good. She uses the 5 minute smooth set so we can move on fast. We don't have to wait too long. Sometimes we even put a blow dryer on that. So basically, she's going to finish this up here, go over any other little spots that she may have missed, and lines, like for instance, she has a line right up there. She'll get that. And one thing I might want to say is I always ask these people, these management companies, to get their painter and their drywaller out there, or their painter that does drywall. And every single time they still put it on me. Either my prices are too cheap, or they like her work better than the painter. I have seen some of the painters' work that they have, and you can tell they've been there. Usually with Alicia, it pretty much disappears. But anyway, we don't really like drywalling. It's really not our forte, but we always try to push it off on the painter, and the work order still comes to me. So either I'm too cheap, like I said, or the work is, or maybe both. Maybe the work is cheap and the work is good. You know, I think the work is great, but you know, I'm biased. That's my wife doing it. So, but you know, even if she was doing a bad job, I just wouldn't do it at all. If I thought she couldn't do a fantastic job, I wouldn't be doing it at all. So that goes without saying. I guess my prices are too cheap. All right, just to speed up the process, guys, got a couple Amazon $10 blow dryers. That'll help her get it where it's dry enough to wet sand it. So once they get that done, then we'll go. So she's got an extra thick patch over there. So,
all right, let's get tile work.
Okay, let's go do the tile work. All right, you're looking good over there, Al.
Want to do the same with this one? Or leave it
Yeah, let's try. We're going to try one where we buttered it, and then we're going to try one with the dots and the lines and see which way we like better. But it's all good. Okay, guys, we cut us a spacer for the grout line. We're trying to keep the same space. See this grout line? So we cut a shim that we can put right up to it, and we're going to make this side a little bit smaller than the top one. We just like the way it looks better. So we're going to use this as our spacer, and he's going to use that square to make sure we're not wobbling left or right. Okay, guys, even though we use 5 minute smooth set, you can see, yes, it hardens up in 5 minutes or 6 minutes where it's not usable, but it still takes a long time to dry. Buttering that shit up good and putting some dots on it. We found that buttering it up, putting 3 dots on it, and pushing it in and using the square to make sure we're balanced out, and we're using that as a spacer. Everything is looking great. Alright, he's using that spacer. Go ahead. Spacing it in, and then take your square after you get that right. Here's your square. I'll hand it to you.
My eyes, my square now.
I'll just show them how you're squaring it with it.
That make sure.
See, you can see it's not a. It's
Just
even
daylight.
even if this doesn't touch the tile, you just look at the daylight in there, and if the daylight's equal, you're good. Because this guy's tile work, you can see it's crooked. Whoever did this, look, it's out here, in here, out here. So you know, whoever did this was an amateur, but he's getting it to the best that he can and making it as square as possible. And then we'll grout it and be done with it. Let's go see how Alicia's doing over here. And Alicia, she's over here sanding it all out a little bit, looking good. A little bit there. Pretty soon we'll be able to spray some texture on it. There you go, Benny. All right. This is our last piece. You want the good size. So what I do, guys, is besides put my knee in the fucking rocks, I like putting it on grass because I can let my blade dig into the you know, 2 cuts on a job. You can't go set up a whole tile saw. You know, my tile saw takes me 15 minutes to set up, and then you gotta wash it and put, you know what I mean? It's like an hour by the time you're really. So just for 2 cuts like that, and that's going to be buried in the wall with some caulking, you'll never see it. Sometimes this will split a tile, and you'll have to do it again. But most of the time, you can get it done. So I'm not going to worry about cutting into the grass. This is the piece he wants. So let's just see what we can do. Okay, guys, he'll put this up against the grout line, and this will go on the wall. And even if it's a little bit crooked or you got a few chips, your caulking is going to go right over the top of it. It's going to be beautiful. All right, let's go put that away. I'll go put all this away. All right, wall's completely done here. Ready for texture. All right. Okay, guys, I shut the light off so maybe you can see it better now. I can't see it with no light on like that, so everything's looking good here, smooth. All right, we're gonna get ready to texture it. Well, guys, we got the texture on it. I'll see if I can bring it in and show you. You can see the texture. I couldn't videotape it. We bought 3 cans, and only one of them out of 2 of them worked. The rest were all clogged. So, and we had to fight to get the 3rd one to work, but this is the texture. We're letting it dry. It did really turn out nice, equal. I had 1 can, was enough to do the whole wall. And I even have a little bit left just in case I missed a spot and Alicia sees it and says, oh. And these little big bumps right here, these drops, all you do is you take a sponge and you just wet it like that. and you dot them in like that and bump them down a little bit. And then when you paint them, they're great. But the big dots, you just take a sponge and go like that. Alicia will be here in a minute. She had to run home. We're not working. Oh, there she is. Hey, Allie. Yeah. Alicia? Yeah. Can you get a wet sponge and just dot the big blots, you know, the big drops?
Okay.
And we're ready for paint.
Okay.
So what we'll do is put this somewhere, the light, where it's more stable. And just get a sponge and just hit the big blots.
Okay.
We were able to do the whole thing except above the header because
Right.
we didn't touch it there.
Right, right.
And if you,
Sounds good, yeah.
yeah, anything just to hit the dots.
Okay.
Anyway, she's going to use a sponge, and any big blots or little dots, she's just going to take this sponge and just go like this with
Whatever's
the corner.
wet is sticking out?
Just like that, yeah. And it might even be ready where you might have to wet it.
Okay.
It is getting pretty dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
You want these?
we're gonna do the.
Do you need them? Okay, I'll have them.
Oh, they finally got condoms in your size, huh, Vinny?
That's right.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna move on with the grout and the tile.
Just be mindful of the black stuff on the floor.
Okay. I just wanted to. So you're grouting it, right? All right. So there's the grout, the charcoal. He taped it off so it wouldn't make a mess. And he's working his way through. All right, we'll check on him a little bit. All right, guys. Vinny's putting it to it, and Alicia is taking it off, as you can see. Looking real good. Yeah. All right, guys. He's got it looking pretty good. He'll go over and clean those tiles a little bit better. We're kind of contemplating to leave that painter stick. You know how we put the painter stick under there to as a ledger? We're not sure if we want to take that off tonight. But we don't want no sagging. But I think just the grout alone will set up.
Thanks, good.
And we might be able to take it off. If not, we'll come by tomorrow and take it off. Okay. Alright, guys, there's Alicia. She's putting the paint to it, and it looks good. Flawless.
You like that?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you.
Alright, guys, Vinny's going to remove the paint sticks from underneath. We're going to see how it goes. Good, he took the screws out of it. Just see how it comes out nicely. Go easy. There we go. Mission accomplished. Let me get a picture of that one hanging. Let's see, where's the one hanging? Oh, right there. Let me get a picture of that. Thank you. Alright, that's gonna look good. Alright, everybody, we got everything all cleaned up. This is what the owner picked out. This is what they got. So, everything's looking good, nice and clean. Picked up everything there. And I guess Alicia is in here, finishing up her painting over here. Everything's looking good. Yeah, so we stirred up the paint really good to get the best possible blend. But even when you have paint that's sitting in a can half empty and it sits there for a while, some of the chemicals dry out and you don't probably get 100% match, but you stir it up the best you can and hopefully it comes pretty close to the other walls. The main thing is, you know, it may not be like 100% match, but it's extra paint, and paint's like $40-some a gallon right now, so this little bit of paint that the tenant saved really helps out, keeps the cost down for the owner. So, alrighty. Well, guys, I forgot to get the ending of that video, but that paint dried. It was just people wanted to go to dinner, and we were trying like hard to get out of there. And I just couldn't videotape while they were rushing me out the door. But anyway,
Next job?
yeah, this is for our next job. We got some sinks to replace. So anyhow, I guess, what?
Come look at this.
What? What do you want?
We're Like, this is what we're
Pinball?
playing
Star
tonight.
Trek? Oh, yeah. Vinny loves playing Star Trek.
So, are you playing tonight?
Yeah.
Well, after
Drives
my
me
meal.
nuts. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching this video, and I'm sorry I didn't get the ending to it. But anyway, sometimes it goes that way. My memory is getting bad. Anyway, thanks for bringing that stuff in. That's for tomorrow's job. And we bought 3 sinks because we didn't know what to really buy. We don't know what's going to fit. We got the whole dimension, but some of these sinks are different. So we like to get 2 or 3 of them. So
Plus
I'm
the
just
plumbing. What
plus,
we're gonna do is
plus
a
the
12
plumbing.
inch knock,
Yeah,
or 12-inch center.
yeah.
So we don't know how it's gonna.
Maybe we'll
plumb
get some
in.
video there. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Say bye, Vinny.
Bye.